Welcome back. This is Ravichandran from Avadar. So, I welcome all of you. So, today in this session, so we are going to discuss in detail about the muscular tissue and the nervous tissue, right. Okay. So, muscular tissue or muscle tissue, approximately the 45% of our body weight, so which is contributed by the muscle tissue, muscles, so which is elastic in nature. It acts like a machine, that muscle which acts like a machine. So, it capable of its contraction and relaxation, just like the elastic, its elasticity, elastic in nature, that helpful for locomotion, that helpful for locomotion. So, mainly that skeletal muscles which are attached with the skeletal system, locomotion, heart muscle that is pumping, okay, all are the muscles which act as the machine which convert the what is that that energy transformation, energy that convert the one to another, that is machine, simple machine. Here that chemical energy is converted into the mechanical energy. It transform, that is the energy transformation, that mechanical energy, walking, running, speaking, whatever, okay, that is because of the muscles. That muscle tissue is very important, okay. And we take what is the composition, that muscular tissue, that muscles which are made up of many long cylindrical fibers, that made up of many long cylindrical fibers that arranged parallel to each other. So, if you take non-vegetarian, you know, okay, that take a piece of muscle, okay, it is made up of, it is a fibers, it is made up of many fibers. It is like and the eatable sweet and the sown papdi cake, square inside it is made up of many fibers. Okay, similarly here, so that muscle, each muscle is made up of long cylindrical fibers that arranged parallel to each other. It is a parallel to each other. That fibers. Now take that fibers. Each fiber is made up of numerous. That each fiber, that is many fibers that forms the muscle. If you take a single fiber, that each fiber in turn that is made up of. This is, for example, this is a single fiber. That single fiber is in turn made up of many minute, okay, that fibrils. That fibrils, okay, they are called myofibrils. That is called myofibril. Now, if we go hierarchy, so many myofibrils that forms the muscle fibers. That many muscle fibers that forms that muscle. Okay, that muscles. I said already, so that muscle fibers which are capable of contract, that is shorten, okay, that shorten and relax, okay, lengthen. That muscle is capable of, just like the elastic, okay, just like the elastic, that is rubber like, it relaxes, okay, relax, lengthen, it lengthen as well as it contracts. When it relaxes and contracts, not always, when it receives the stimuli, that is important. So, when it receives the stimuli, okay, when what is stimuli? What is stimuli? It is an impulse. Stimuli is nothing but impulse. But suppose if you see a dog, that dog is chasing you, you are running. That seeing the dog is a stimuli. Okay, that seeing the dog, when it through the eye that reaches the brain, that brain so gives the order, stimulus to your muscles. So that muscles start working, you are running and escaping from the dog. Okay, so that is called the stimuli. Okay, that stimuli, it's input, it's command. Okay, when it receives the stimuli, so it start working, that contract. Okay, contract means shorten, relax means lengthen. Okay, that contraction, relaxation causes that mechanical energy, so that we are running, all sort of work. Now I am speaking, okay, I am teaching, okay, I am walking, okay, this is all because of that contraction and relaxation of the muscle. When it contracts and relaxes, when it receives the stimuli, otherwise it's not, it contracts and relaxes. When it receives the stimuli, okay, that's all. Also, that is all the movements of the body, or that is caused by that activity of the muscle. Okay. Next is the types of muscle. So based on the structure, location and function, based on the three, what are the criteria? Based on the location, structure and function. So the muscles are divided into three types, namely skeletal muscle, very important, this only we are going to discuss. Skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. The three types, only the three types of muscle are there: skeletal, smooth and cardiac. Based on what is the criteria? Location, where it is distributed, location, structure and function. So now let us discuss one by one in detail. The first is the skeletal muscle. First is the skeletal muscle. So why it is called the skeletal muscle? I said already. So based on the distribution, function and structure, it is skeletal muscle, that muscle which is associated with or attached with the skeletal system. Okay, skeletal means a bone, that bone attached with the skeletal system. That's why this is called skeletal muscle, bone. So now I am walking. Okay, I am lifting my hand. Okay, I am speaking. All that bones, that movement of the bones, the upper jaw bones, that responsible for the speaking. Okay, that movement of the that bone. Okay, that bones, that responsible for walking. So all because of that muscles which are attached with the skeletal system. So the muscle which is attached with the skeletal system is called the skeletal muscle. Okay, skeletal muscle. And this muscle is also called striated muscle, very important. This muscle is also known as striated muscles. Why it is called striated muscles? So already we have discussed that muscle is made up of many muscle fibers. Okay, that muscle fibers which are arranged parallelly, that forms the muscle, skeletal muscle. So listen, this is take one muscle fiber. Okay, one muscle fiber. This is one muscle fiber, that skeletal muscle fiber. Okay, any myofibrils are there? Myofibrils. And here dark and light bands are there. So in the muscle, light and dark bands are there. Striations are there. In the muscle, light and dark bands are there. Light, see, this is dark and this is light band, light. Okay, dark and alternating with that bands, dark and light bands, that is striations, stripes, very. Okay, that's why this muscle is called striated or striped muscle. Why it is called skeletal muscle, you know? Why it is called striated muscles, you know? Okay, striated muscle. and that examples of this is biceps and triceps muscles. In the biceps and triceps, this is biceps muscle, that arms muscle, this is biceps. Triceps, the back side, where the doctor is injecting injection. So this is the back side. This is called triceps and biceps. Lot of muscles. A typical example. Okay, listen. So this is that muscle. This is the striated muscle. Listen here. That muscle, that fibers or cylindrical. So this is one. It's a cylindrical and arranged parallel to each other. Here, listen. See the striations are there. The striations. Okay, striations and multinucleated, and very important. Okay, you don't by heart. You need not by heart. Simply you observe this diagram. You can write. Okay, that multinucleated. See, listen. Here there are multinucleated conditions. That muscle fibers which are cylindrical. That muscle fibers are cylindrical and dark and light bands, striations are there. So that's why this is a striated muscle. Okay, this is that structure of the that striated muscle. Okay, that's all about the striated. The next type is the smooth muscle. One more important is the skeletal muscle, which is why it is called skeletal and why it is called striated. Also, that the skeletal muscles is known as voluntary muscle. This is also known as voluntary muscle. Voluntary muscle. You know why? Yeah, of course you are right, 100%. Good. It is under our control. That muscles which are under our control, we can control the activities under our control. Okay, that's why that skeletal muscle is also known as voluntary muscle. Very important 1 mark question. 1 mark question. It is also called voluntary muscles. Okay, that's all. Super. The next is a smooth muscle. Smooth muscle. Why it is called smooth muscle? Why it is called smooth muscle? Already that is name itself is that it is a smooth. It is a smooth in nature. And what is the structure of that muscle fiber? So this is that smooth muscle. Smooth muscle fiber. The structure and the muscle fibers. The muscle fibers. How? This is cylindrical. This is cylindrical. First one, it is a quad. That is that skeletal muscle, and here it's spindle shaped. That muscle fibers which are spindle shaped. Okay. Comparatively, I have to see, observe this. This is parallel. Skeletal muscle, it is a parallel. This is spindle shaped. That means the middle, which is broad, and that the ends which are pointed. Okay, that is the spindle shaped and uninucleate. That is each muscle fiber which consists of single nucleus and no striations. That's why that smooth muscle is called non-striated muscle. No striations. Non-striated. Okay, non-striated. Why it is called smooth muscle? It is smooth in nature. Smooth in nature. That intestine. That intestines, stomach. What is that? Blood vessels, urinary bladder. That is almost all the hollow tubular organs which are made up of the smooth muscles. And no striations. Here you can see the stripes in the fibers. Here there is no striations. It is smooth. No striation. Unstriated. That is unstriated muscle. And this muscle is also known as involuntary muscle, involuntary, which is called involuntary. Why it is called involuntary? We cannot control, not under our control, that function. We cannot control the activities, cannot control the intestine, function of the intestine, function of the blood vessels, function of the urinary bladder, cannot control the function under your, not you are under your control. You cannot control, it is separate, it is that's why that is called the involuntary muscle, not under our control. If I think, I can stop talking, I can stop, I can start, I can walk with my wish. That is skeletal muscle. That's why that is voluntary. Here it is the involuntary. Then once again, spindle shape, that is broad, in the middle it is broad, and at the ends which is pointed, no striations, uninucleate, single nucleus. Okay. A smooth muscle, it is involuntary. And next type is the cardiac muscle. This is very important. Why it is called cardiac? Cardio, heart. Cardio means heart. So this muscle very particular. It is found only in heart. It is only in found in heart location. Cardiac. It's a heart only found in heart. That's why this is called cardiac muscle. This is the strongest muscle. That cardiac muscle is the strongest muscle in the body. Okay. It is found only in heart. It's present only in heart. Cardiac. And very important characteristics of this muscle fiber is see. So this is the cardiac muscle. Listen, so it is that muscle fibers are cylindrical, and see that muscle fibers which are interconnected with each other, very important, that muscle fibers which are interconnected with each other, see, that is the interconnection, that are called intercalated disc. They are called intercalated discs are there. Intercalated, see, listen, this is one muscle fiber, this is one muscle fiber, and this is another, here another. In between, see here, there is a connection, there is a junction between the adjacent nerve fibers, that are called intercalated disc. Why there is an intercalated disc? It is found in the cardiac muscle. So you know that heart, which is the pumping organ, that heart is the pumping organ. When it receives the electrical impulses from the SCA node, it is the pacemaker of the heart, you know, it is the pacemaker of the heart. Here there is a strip of muscle is there, that is called the SCA node. SCA node that generates action potential. That means electric impulses, electricity, electric energy is produced. So that is that passed to that muscle fibers. So when it is passed in one nerve fiber, that is one muscle fiber, it is passed to one muscle fiber, so which is spread to, from this which is spread to all the muscle fibers, that spread to all the muscle fibers, because it is interconnected. That muscle fibers, since which are interconnected, that one, that is that potential energy, that impulse which is applied to the one muscle fiber, which are spread to all the muscles, so that the heart integratedly, so unitedly it contracts and relaxes. Okay. It relaxes and contracts. Okay. That intercalated disc, that is the distinguishing feature of the heart muscle or the cardiac muscle. Why there is a intercalation? Why? What is the purpose? In order to spread the action potential to all parts of the heart muscles. That is the intercalated disc. Also, this intercalation not only that helpful for the spreading the impulses, also that gives strength to the heart muscles. As it is interconnected, that gives a strength. That gives a strength. Cardiac muscle, and it is very important. Is another is it contracts and relaxes in rhythmic fashion. Rhythmic. Rhythm means it contracts and relaxes in regular intervals, periodically. At regular intervals. The lub-dub sound at regular interval per minute. How many times it contracts and relaxes? Some 72 times. That means that contraction, relaxation, and that regular interval, that is rhythmic, that periodic interval, that contraction, relaxation, so which or another, it's a regular interval, is a rhythmic manner, Okay. And also this is comes under the involuntary type. The involuntary we cannot control. Okay. Also that muscle is that heart muscles which are emotionally controlled. That are emotionally controlled. That is emotionally controlled. இப்போ பாருங்க, ஏதாவது ஒரு what is that, some fear or anger or extreme happiness, பாருங்க இந்த heart வந்து என்ன பண்ணும், that contraction relaxation, that activity is altered. பயமா இருக்கப்ப என்ன பண்ணும், ஒரு மாதிரி எல்லாம் ஹாப்பியா இருக்கப்ப, பயங்கர கோவமா இருக்கப்ப லப் டப் லப் டப்னு ஹார்ட் பீட் நிறைய இருக்கும். பாருங்க, அப்ப that is the heart, that muscles which are emotionally controlled, that heart muscles which are emotionally controlled. The involuntary, it's involuntary. Intercalated discs are there. Intercalated discs are there. Very important. That is when it receives the impulses, it contracts and relaxes. Okay, and that is rhythmic. That is important. Rhythmic manner. Okay, rhythmic manner which contracts and relaxes. Okay, that's all. Types of the muscle tissue: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Okay, that's all. The next is, this is one a muscle or a unique muscle, palmaris muscle. The palmaris muscle is a long and narrow muscle which is runs from elbow to wrist. Elbow, this is elbow region. This is elbow. Elbow to wrist. Okay, elbow to wrist. Elbow to wrist இருக்கும். Internal இருக்கும் the muscle. Actually that palmaris muscle which is important for the primates, monkey. But நமக்கு பாருங்க அது missing ன்னு சொல்றாங்க. இப்போ நம்ம வந்து மரத்தில் தொங்கிட்டு இல்லைங்களா, மரத்தில் ஜம்ப் பண்ணல, பட் நமக்கு 11% மிஸ்ஸிங்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அப்போ நமக்கு ஏன் இருக்கணும், நம்ம என்ன மரத்தில் என்ன ஹேங் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கோமா, ஏன் அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, பிகாஸ் நமக்கு தெரியும் அவர் ancestors ஆர் தி primates, monkey. அப்போ அது ஒரு எவல்யூஷனரி சிக்னிஃபிகன்ஸ். தட் இஸ் வி ஹியூமன்ஸ் ஒரிஜினேட்டட் ஃப்ரம் monkeys. அப்படின்றதுக்கு அது ஒரு எவல்யூஷனரி ஒரு எவிடன்ஸ். அது இப்போ மிஸ்ஸிங், ஏன்னா தட் இஸ் எவல்யூஷன், நெக்ஸ்ட் லெவல். நம்ம மங்கிலேருந்து வந்தாச்சு, தென் ஃபர்தர் கிராஜுவல் நெக்ஸ்ட் லெவல் அந்த டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன். அப்போ இது கிராஜுவலாக யூனோ தட் இஸ் ஒன் law is there in evolution, that is use and disuse theory. Use and disuse, that means that the organ which is not a continuous use, the organ which are in continuous use, it further it grows. The organs which are not in use, so not in use, that degenerate, the use and disuse theory. If not used, automatically and எபிலிட்டி அந்த ஆர்கன் வந்து ரிமூவ் ஆகிடும், டீஜெனரேட் ஆகிடும், rudimentary இருக்கும், நான் ஃபங்க்ஷனலாக இருக்கும். By an example you can understand, I hope. Flightless birds, some of the birds வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா flightless birds like kiwi, ostrich, peacock, even our henலாம் இருக்கு பாருங்க, அதெல்லாம் flightless birds. சும்மா பறந்து போகிறது சொல்லக்கூடாது. Like a crow வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it is unable to fly for long time, ஏர்ல பண்ண முடியாது, அதெல்லாம் that is called flightless birds. சார் அப்போ என்ன அது பிறக்கிறப்பே flightless-ஆ? நோ 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 நோ, உங்களுக்கு ஃப்ளையிங் தான், பட் ஓவர் வந்து என்னது thousands and thousands of years வந்து இட்ஸ் நாட் யூசிங் இட்ஸ் விங்ஸ். ஏன் யூஸ் பண்ணணும்? ஏன் ஒய் தட் பேர்ட்ஸ் ஹாவ் டு ஃப்ளை டு இன் சர்ச் ஆஃப் ஃபுட், டு எஸ்கேப் ஃப்ரம் எனிமீஸ், escape from enemies in search of food, or for breeding, to get the mat or mate, அப்புறம் then unfavorable climatic conditions, அந்த கண்டிஷனில் எஸ்கேப் ஆகி போகணும். இது பாருங்கள், இது எல்லாமே இந்த 4 தான். திஸ் இஸ் தி மேஜர் ரீசன்ஸ் ஃபார் லோகோமோஷன், மூவ்மெண்ட், ஃப்ளை பண்ணி போகணும். இப்போ எல்லாமே எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் ஃபேவரபிள். லிசன், just imagine, so everything is favorable, abundant food is available, no need to fly and search, and no enemies, no enemies did not fly and escape from. So everything is irukappa enna panadhu, it's not using the wings for flying. அப்ப இப்படியே வந்து thousands and thousands of years போனா என்ன பண்ணது, that forgot the flying, not forgot, and the body is not adapted, body நல்ல weight ஆயிடுது, குண்டாயிடுது, அப்ப unable to that is fly, and the ability gradually decrease ஆகுது. அப்படிதான் flightless birds. அதே மாதிரி இந்த palmaris muscle வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it's primarily it's well developed, it's helpful for hanging, but நமக்கு no use. அதான் பாருங்க decrease ஆகுது. 11% of the population வந்து என்னது, in population that muscle is missing nowadays because not using that muscle. Okay, that's all. Next is a lost tissue in our body is the neural tissue. Neural, as a nervous tissue, தெரியும் உங்களுக்கு, that is a nervous system. Our nervous system is made up of the nerve cell. The nerve cell, the structural and functional unit of the nervous system is neural, nerve cell or neuron. Okay, that nerve forms the, that nerve cell that forms the neural tissue or the nervous tissue. It mainly where it is found only in the nervous system. Okay, that central nervous system, the nervous system, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, together called nervous system. The nervous system is composed of these that nerve tissue, okay, or neural tissue. It's the unit of the nervous system. The unit of the nervous system. It's a unit, nerve cell or nerve cell or the neuron. The unit. These are excitable. Very important. These are the excitable. Excitable. So what is excitable? When it that stimuli which is received something, some reaction will take place, and that conduct the stimuli, and that conduct the stimuli from one to another place. That's an electric wire. It's just like the electric cable. Okay, if we switch on the fan, that fan will rotate. How that electrical energy through the cable, through the wire, that electricity, that electric energy that passes and reaches the that fan. So that fan, it rotates. Okay, similarly, so in our body, any stimuli, okay, any stimuli that arises, that nerve cell conducts. Okay, it is capable of excite. It is excitable cells. And it is the nervous system. Already I said it is made up of nerve cells, and apart from the nerve cell, our brain, that nervous system is made up of supporting cells, that is called neuroglia. Neuroglia. Don't think our nervous system is made up of not only the nerves, also some supporting cells are there. Okay, they are supporting supporting cells that support the nerves, they are called neuroglia. Okay. Approximately it is the 1/2 of the volume of the nervous system. 1/2 of that volume of the nervous system is composed of the neuroglial cells, that is supporting, that nourishes the nerve cell, nourishes, that protects the nerve cell. So any damage occurs in the nerve cells, that is repaired by that neuroglial cells, that neuroglial cells, neuroglia. So what are the parts of the typical nerve cell? We will discuss now. So listen, this is the structure of a typical nerve cell. This is important 5 marks question. Draw and label the structure of the nerve cell. This is the structure. This is the structure. So it is made up of, listen, highly branching and many sided. Okay, that body, this is body, this region, it is a body. It is called cell body or cyton. Cell body, or it is called cyton. Cell body, it is a highly branched. Okay, it is a cell body, cyton, which encloses a fluid. So imagine it's a cell, it's nothing but cell. Cell specialization, that means cell differentiation. Okay, basically this is cell. It's a cell, a plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus is there. This is also a cell. Then என்ன பாருங்க, இந்த that is பாருங்க, இது என்ன ஆகுது, many sided, there is a nucleus, அதான் இங்க சைட்டான்னு சொல்றோம். அண்ட் என்ன ஒரு டெயில் இருக்குது, அவ்வளவுதான். இல்லைன்னா ஒரு டெயில் இருக்குது, ஒரு ஆக்சான் என்ன இருக்கு, ஒரு டெயில் இருக்குது. அதான் செல் ஸ்பெஷலைசேஷன் ஆர் தி டிஃபரன்சியேஷன் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் தி ஃபங்க்ஷன் and the form. Okay, that shape is modified, the shape is modified. அப்ப என்ன, what is there? There is a head. Okay, that is cell body or cyton. அதுல பாருங்க, அதுல branches இருக்கு பாருங்க, அதுல branches இருக்குது. See, listen, cyton or head, a cyton or head, there is a nucleus and the cytoplasm. Cellular இருந்தா cytoplasm, nerve cellular இருந்தா அது neuroplasm. அவ்வளவுதான், neuroplasm, nucleus, neuroplasm, இதான் வந்து cell body or cyton. அதுல வந்து பாருங்க branches இருக்குது, that is called dendrites. That branches are there, that are called dendrites. Okay, அப்புறம் என்ன இருக்குது, அதுல இருந்து one long process arise. அதான் வந்து that is called axon, tail. மங்கிக்கு வந்து என்னது, மங்கிக்கு டெயில் இருக்க மாதிரி அதுக்கு ஒரு டெயில் இருக்கு, லாங் டெயில் இருக்குது, அதான் ஆக்சான்னு சொல்றோம். ஓகே, ஆக்சான் இருக்குது. இங்க என்ன, அது டெயில். இங்க வந்து பாருங்க, டெயில்ல வந்து என்னது, டெயில் ஃபைபர்ஸ், பிரான்ச்சஸ் இருக்குது. ஃபர்தரா in axons வந்து என்ன, that is the tail branches இருக்குது. So branches, okay, terminal branches இருக்குது, terminal branches. This is the structure of a nerve cell. இப்போ என்ன, இது என்ன, how it works, what is the function, how it conducts. Already நீங்க சொன்னீங்க, it is excitable னு சொன்னீங்க. It responsible for the conduction of the impulses. எப்படி சார் கண்டக்ட் பண்ணும், எப்படி கண்டக்ட் பண்ணும்? லிசன், இதான் ஹெட். சப்போஸ் if anyone touching, that is, you close your eyes, now you close and touch with the help of the pencil or anything you touch, you can feel some object is touching your skin. How? Okay, when that is pressing, that stimuli is created in the skin, that stimuli is created, that stimuli reaches the dendrites. Okay, that reaches the dendrites, and the stimuli reaches the dendrites. Through the dendrites, that goes to the that cyton, cell body. Okay, from the cell body, that axon, through this axon that reaches. Okay, that reaches, and it goes to the tail fibers. Here another, Here there is the another neuron is there, another neuron. So inge dendrites, okay, here to the axon, tail filaments. So from this nerve to that impulses that jumped to the that transferred to the that next nerve cell. The same process, dendrites side on, then axon, then it is a long cable like from the body, then that reaches to the central nervous system, brain. Okay, in this way, that nerve fibers which transmit the impulses, okay, simply this is excitable. When it receives the stimuli, it is activated and conduct this stimuli through the axon to the next. Similarly, one by one, okay, that impulses that reaches the central nervous system, brain. Here that after going this some responses answered, then you know that another nerve set of nerves, that is motor neurons, avanga enna action pannumo ada response பண்ணுவாங்க. That everything we are going to discuss in separate chapter. In detail we are going to discuss what are the types of nerves, everything in detail we are going to discuss in the nervous system. Okay. The impulses, inga impulses poitu enna pannum, whatever maybe induce something or inhibit something, okay, that action is performed by the impulses. The impulses are mainly transmitted through the nervous system. Okay, so that's all. Chapter